Well, Yarrow, that's quite a subject, you know. You were right when you said we were best friends. Our fathers knew each other. For as long as I can remember, Yarrow and I were getting into trouble together. At least, until his mother died. No. Bandits killed her in broad daylight on Penny Road. Today these incidents are common, but not back then. The road was considered safe. Very safe. She was on her way to Ark, accompanied by 3 other women, and they were set upon at the pass. None of them survived. Yarrow was shattered. I think the worst part was how his father went downhill after his wife's death. The fishery decayed, and the poor guy filled his days with boozing and sleeping. It changed Yarrow forever. Well, that's a good question. On the one hand, he became a man, despite his tender age. On the other hand, something inside him woke up, so to speak. A desire to make more of his life. Old Mother Jenica noticed it and took him under her wing. He learned how to read and write, and soon he knew all the holy verses by heart. When he didn't have to help his drunken father, he helped in the village as much as he could. Indeed, that's one way to look at it. It wasn't long before he was the jewel of the village, the striving young fisherman destined for great things, even though he was only on the path of a manufacturer. And then the inevitable happened. A keeper of the order came to Riverville to see the prodigy with his own eyes. And behold, in addition to Yarrow's ingenuity, he also had a slumbering magical talent. The keeper took him away, and a few months later, he started his novitiate. Since then, I've only seen him once or twice, as he rarely visited Riverville. I don't think he ever noticed how much that hurt me. Oh, it's hard to explain. I believe it was the way he was talking about his grand plans, how he wanted to make the world a better place, to become the greatest keeper since Lorem Waterblade. Underneath all this there was an anger mixed with deep grief and disappointment. I don't think he was aware of it, because he drew all his strength from that anger. The strength to do all this, to learn and to work day and night, but it frightened me, like the Blue Death. It slumbers inside the pathless mage who believes he can master magic without the Order's help. At first, it grants power, but then, one day, it bursts out in an unholy wave of destruction, turning him into one of the monsters in the old songs. Anyway, I'm just an old man. What do I know about these matters? Now let me go to sleep. All these memories are making me weary. Yes, of course.
blazes. Sorry. I know. I can't sing. Well, if it isn't my new friend. Any luck? Well. That's interesting. Good work. That only leaves the mysterious object in the water. I'll have a closer look around here in the meantime. Interesting. I didn't know about his companion's fate, to be honest. Irony of fate, isn't it? Murdered by those you wanted to help. But the Order will definitely be interested in these letters. Well done. That should be all we need, then. Splendid. I did, and now I finally know what to make of it. Come, follow me. I present a Star People's lock, and I bet my buttocks we'll find another answer behind that door over there. Doesn't surprise me. This kind of lock is usually only found in treasuries or castles, but they can be picked, though that's going to be quite the challenge without the bolts. Normally, yeah. It's quite simple, actually. Every keyhole has a matching bolt that latches into place once you insert it. And once all the keyholes, 5 in our case, are latched, the door the lock protects opens up. If you don't have the matching bolts, however, you should prepare yourself for the most frustrating break-in of your life. That is, if you don't happen to be Jaspar, who knows a little trick. You can use wooden sticks instead of bolts. They'll break a couple of seconds after you put them inside the lock, but if you manage to get all 5 sticks into place before the first one breaks, you can basically trick the mechanism. It's all about speed, in other words. So I'd say you do the running, and I'll wait near the pressure plate. You ready? Splendid. Here are the sticks. All right, go! Brilliant. We're really good at this. Now let's take a look and see what the old Magister didn't want anyone to see, shall we? Fire elemental. Not a weak one. This Yarrow knew about magic, that's for sure. That leaves us with the question of what exactly this is supposed to be. At the risk of blowing your mind, I had already figured as much. I suppose that's his companion. Though it's interesting that he was already on the wrong side of the law way before his rampage. Well, burials are considered heathen here in Enderal, and have been forbidden for about 300 years now. Here, corpses are always cremated. The whole thing's called the Last Journey. The deceased is taken to a place he or she considered special during his or her life, immediately after dying. That's the only way the soul can move on to the eternal paths. Sounds very poetic, but I'm pretty sure the only reason the Order introduced the law was to prevent plagues. Plus, they might have noticed that too many lost ones running around on trade routes aren't that much fun for wanderers and traveling merchants. Yeah, but of course that only goes for the little man. The rich and powerful still tend to their family crypts, and there are still plenty of old vaults around from the time before this whole Last Journey thing was begun. And it's good that way. What would life as a treasure hunter be like without the notorious noble looking for family jewels in a century-old grave? Let's take a look around and see if we find anything. Huh? Keep your chin up.
Beloved Sira, this is my last letter. In it, I ask for forgiveness, for it was I who murdered you. No, of course, it wasn't me who held the knife, but it was me who...
What's that? Let me see. Uh-huh. A tragic ending for a tragic personality, I'd say. Well, I think that should suffice. Well, what should I think about it? Yarrow was a self-righteous fool, just like all these do-gooders are. They celebrate themselves as great messiahs as long as everything goes well, but once they fail, it's the bad, bad world that's responsible for it. The wise hermit has a good saying for that. People are only idealists until it starts to hurt. He and his lady should have simply stayed in Riverville. I think that if we all just spent less time thinking about other people's problems, whores would have fuller purses, breweries emptier barrels, and tyrants fewer minions willing to cut their throats open for the one true God or the one true nation. Yeah, we are. Here, I've got 2 teleport scrolls that can take us right back to Riverville. Just meet me in the tavern once you're ready to go. I have some stuff to take care of, so there's no need to hurry. Farewell.
Well, there comes a point when you just have to live with it.
Greetings.
Malphas's blessing.
Delivery of ale. Anyone?
Never walked back on the road from the aged man.
Now, if it isn't my new pal, how about a sip of wine? Here you go. So, are you ready for our little journey? It seems that Riverville's Myra's injured, so we'll have to go by foot. Splendid. Let's wait until nightfall, though. That way it's less likely we'll run into an ambush in the pass. One more thing. Up to now, you've seemed more like the close combat type to me. In battle, I mean. Am I right? I knew it. I'm asking because I was in the market just now stocking up on provisions, and I got myself some new reading material. Here, I think you might find this useful. You're welcome. Then off we go, I'd say. You go on ahead. Just take the route leading north out of Riverville. It'll lead us straight to the mountain pass.
You'll soon wipe the smile right off your face. Cause he ambushes you when you least expect. Down in the deep, down in the dark, he waits for us, the
Evening.
guardian. If we stray from our path.
This place was once a trading post, in case you're wondering. but it's been deserted ever since the isolation. Yeah, if you want to take a look for yourself, feel free. If not, let's push on. We still have a good march ahead of us.
Hey, you there. Yes, you. Can you spare a moment for me?
Sir?
I'm so hungry.
Yes? Yes? Yes?
Huh? Can I help you?
Oh my. Another exhausted soul, aren't you? Are you sure you want to keep going like that? I mean, like that?
Yes?
And here we are. Welcome to Ark. I've got some things to take care of here. So let's meet at the market once you're ready to meet Grandmaster Tealor Arenthiel and his mages in person, alright? By his own son, Nerazil, yeah. But roughly 2.5 years ago, he suddenly appeared back in Enderal, accompanied by a handful of mages who once fought against him in the Great War. Weird, I know, but that's how it was. He did, yeah. It seems that something happened between him and them that made them sort out their issues, you could say. They're allies now, and frankly, nobody quite knows why. You can imagine what kind of uproar that caused among the Holy Order itself. But in the end, Arenthiel got things his way. You can say what you want about him, but he never lost his charisma, that's for sure. You're telling me. But apparently their alliance has something to do with this red madness. I guess we'll see what happens. Oh, sure, I should have thought of that. Pardon me. Alright then. Ark is divided into 5 districts, not counting the harbor. The Foreign Quarter, where we are right now, the Marketplace, the Nobles' Quarters, the South Quarter, and the Temple. If you're looking to gear up, I guess the market would be the place to go. You can find anything there, from food to weapons, armor, and whatever else you need. If it's magical supplies and alchemy you need, however, you best try your luck in the Nobles' Quarters. But prepare yourself for some dismissive looks. Up there's also the bathing house and the theater, in case you have the coin for that. Finally, there's the temple, which is hard to overlook. Normal citizens are not permitted to enter it, and from up there, the Holy Order reigns over this country. But if all goes according to plan, you'll soon see it from the inside. And then there's the Undercity. Yeah, it doesn't, and it isn't. The Undercity's a cluster of caves directly beneath our feet. And down there is where the poor and the sick live, not to mention those that the Order doesn't like to see in their neat, pretty streets in the upper city. Not a place I'd recommend you visit, at least not unless you're looking for mischievous things. Great. Then see you later and enjoy your stay.